Hello. So, there's a lot of sadness in this world. Like a lot. Everywhere you go, you're going to find it. Majority of it stems from the belief that we're not worthy of love. And this stems from a system that has been created to make you feel like in order to be lovable, you have to perform some sort of act to earn it. I've been reading a lot of Nietzsche lately because one of my courses is on existentialism. So for me, though, it's been interesting, right? The study of moral, like what is morals, what are values, what is being, what is belief. And it really comes down to choices of what you want to believe and what you don't want to believe. And even, when Nietzsche's reviewing Greek philosophies, there was a thing, the Greeks did not actually believe in these traditions and ideas that, was coming about with the new Roman ages. They didn't value the idea of a work ethic of like a 9-to-5 job, or right, like the whole politician thing, the politics that were forming. They saw everything as art. Everything was art, from training your body for war, from building. Everything was an art. Everything was something to be an expression, to be felt, to be lived. Could you imagine the passion ancient Greeks must have lived with? I couldn't imagine. Like, that just seems so amazing in retrospect compared to what we've seen the last several hundred years in Western culture. Culture has been killing passion. It's been making it so that as a society, we want to value a 9-to-5. We want to value materialistic gain over the experience of gaining it, when we should be really valuing the experience we had to gain the material. And not that there's anything wrong with material items, but when we're gaining those items, we should enjoy the experience of gaining them, not just the items afterwards. And the emphasis in today's world is on gaining the item, not enjoying the experience that you're living while you're gaining it. And because we've lost the art of experiencing life, we're losing the love for life. Nobody wants to be stuck in a system that forces them every day to do something they don't want to do. We are so out of sync with the natural flow of life in general. Everything's an energy. Life itself is an energy. And we are not flowing. We are stuck in a system created by, you call them what you want, but if the system was created with the purpose of trapping as many energies as it could into one, what, I want to call it a bubble, you want to call it almost like a pocket dimension. It's actually not a bad idea to put it. It's like a pocket dimension. And because time is not real, okay? And everyone keeps telling me that there's no such thing as nothing, but nothing is not nothing. I don't know how to explain it, but you need an empty room as an example to put stuff in. You need space to create stuff in. You need the nothing to have everything. I don't have words for it. There isn't really words to describe it properly, but nothing is everything, and everything is only existing because there's nothing. Are you confused yet? Anyways, brings me back to the point that I find that everyone in this world is sad. And anyone who's stuck in this pocket dimension of misery is going to really struggle, because they don't understand that the point isn't the system. The point isn't the 9-to-5. The point isn't how well you function in the system. And the glorification of people who've succeeded in the system, that 1%, or like the 1% of the 1% even, that actually are successful and possibly kind of happy functioning within the system, doing it the system's way. There's such a small number. Like, why as a whole, as a world, do we actually want that? I don't. And I don't want to be a part of something that leaves the mass majority of people feeling like they aren't worthy of love. Is that Like, I mean, why are we striving to stay in this system? Why are we striving to fight to make this work? I think, Einstein had the nick of it when he told you, explained insanity. I think we're all kind of a little fucking insane for trying to make this system work. Like, honestly. And the people who thought the system was going to last, they're kind of stupid. I mean, I suppose power and ego makes you blind to the reality of of energies. I don't know. But energies are always going to balance out in the end. Like every historical, right, mass, I don't know what you call it, power, what's the right word, right? Like the Romans, Alexander the Great, all these people, these nations that had these moments in history where they were extremely powerful. It doesn't last. It doesn't last because everything is always changing. It's the experiences. And everyone seems to think that it's all about finding heaven, which is like going to be everyone living in peace and harmony and no one's going to hurt anybody and it's all going to be beautiful and blah, 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 blah. Well, what if heaven isn't like that? What if heaven is everyone's following their highest good, just accepting each other as they are, where they are, in the moment, not judging them, not criticizing them, but accepting them, and understanding that we're all just expressions of love happening in different ways. And we don't have to participate in someone else's story if we don't want to. It's a choice. So instead of resenting them or hating them for making choices that we necessarily don't agree with, we'd be like, oh, well, I don't really want to do that. That's all them. And then you go on about your business. You don't judge them for it. You don't criticize them for it. It's like, well, I'm not going to be part of that story. Hey, what's that guy doing? I like that story. You go over there. If you don't feel like making your own story that day, you're supposed to be making, sometimes our stories coexist with other people's stories. We become a part of each other's story because we're kind of living the same base storyline, even though it's unique to us. And that's kind of fun. But acceptance is big. We lack acceptance of each other because the system wants everyone to criticize and divide. Think about it. Even science, even art, like there's division almost in every single group, and it's encouraged in pop culture, right? Music is no longer just music. Now it's divided amongst different genres, and even the genres are now, divided amongst different eras. Division, separation. We wouldn't want you people to start actually liking each other and getting along and harmonizing your energies and becoming powerful as a whole unit. You might break free of the system. Don't do it. It's scary. Stop being authentic. Go back to being the puppet. You want the 9 to 5. Don't you live for the weekend? Aren't you happy that your only smile comes after 7 beers on a Saturday night so you can wake up the next day and puke and hate yourself? Sounds great. No, not really, right? It sounds pretty fucking shitty. If I'm only living for the weekend, that sounds really fucking shitty. I want to enjoy my life every single day. And the system wants you to believe that's an impossibility. They don't want you to stop feeding the system because as soon as enough of us, the percentage is smaller than most people think, but as soon as enough of us break free from believing the system has the answers and understanding the system is actually just a blood-sucking leech feeding off of our energy in order to maintain itself, once we realize that and break free, it'll dissolve. It'll start moving quite quickly. We just need to start showing people that we can live in a better way. Not necessarily all holding hands and singing Kumbaya, but every one of us can have our own story that is exactly what we need and love and enjoy. And it doesn't have to ruin anybody else's. It's kind of crazy to think that could happen, but it can. I know. It kind of blows my mind too to think we can all live in harmony even though we're not doing exactly the same thing or even agreeing on everything. Maybe we're growing up like adults. Oh no. Okay, have a great day. Bye.